welcome to another live class of Master of English, another live class of plus 2 first year English. The chapter, as per your request, as the students are telling me, I've taken is after 20 years. So we'll wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Good evening, Chanda beta. Good evening, good evening. So within 2 to 3 minutes, good evening, Rahul. So after 2 to 3 minutes, I think all the students will be there. So let's wait. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Bike blocks. Good evening, good evening. Yeah, maximum. Hi everyone. Dambrudor. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So today's chapter. Good evening, Vijayini. Good evening, good evening. Because good evening, because good evening. Manish, Bharti is there. Manish, good evening. Bharti, good evening. So the chapter gaming. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening, Brundavan. Ria, good evening, good evening. How are you? Doing well, na? Nice. Others, good evening. Nice to see you there. Yeah. Shantanu, good evening. God bless you. Good evening. Yes. God bless you, Deepak. Prashant, God bless you. So let me start the chapter. After 20 years, 20 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ 20 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଆଜି ଏ ଷ୍ଟୋରିରେ. ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ୟୋର ଭୂମିକାନ୍ତ. ଗୁଡ୍ ଇଭିନିଂ. ଆଶିଷ, ଗଡ୍ ବ୍ଲେସ୍ ୟୁ. ସୋ ଆମେ ଆଜି ଦେଖିବା କ'ଣ ଦେଖିବା ଆଫ୍ଟର 20 years ଚାପ୍ଟରଟା ପଢ଼ିବା ଆଜି. ଆଉ ଏଠି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଦିଲେଶ୍ୱର, ଗୁଡ୍ ଇଭିନିଂ, ଯେ 20 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ ଦୁଇ ଜଣ ପୁରୁଣା ବନ୍ଧୁ ଗୋଟେ ଘଟଣାକ୍ରମରେ କେମିତି ଭେଟ ହୋଇଛନ୍ତି. ଆଉ ସିଦ୍ଧେଶ୍ୱର, ଗଡ୍ ବ୍ଲେସ୍ ୟୁ, ଗଡ୍ ବ୍ଲେସ୍ ୟୁ. very good evening. Satya, welcome. Satya is there. Good to see you. Trikant, good evening. God bless you, Satya. God bless you. Dileshwar, good evening. So the chapter is after 20 years. The name of the chapter is after 20 years. 20 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି 20 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ ଆମେ କବିତା, ଗୁଡ୍ ଇଭିନିଂ. କ'ଣ 20 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି ଦେଖିବା. and the author is O. Henery. Who is the author? O. Henery. And his okay, Sahil, God bless you. Rinki, good evening. Good evening one and all. Everyone, good evening. So the author is William Sidney Potter and his pen name is O. Henery. Devashish, yes, O. Henery, and he was an American writer. Devashish, good evening. Good morning. Yeah. So was an American writer and he was very famous. Narayan, good evening. For his short stories. He was a prolific writer of short stories. And here is a story about two friends, how their personality grows day by day, how they are separated by many miles, like the two friends we have read already. And what are the events and mode of events. Pranam, Devashish Padjoshi. Pranam. God bless you. So what are the modes? They have torn all the stones, and what are the things they have appeared through their way up their life journey. ସେମାନେ କେମିତି स्नेहा गुड इवनिंग बेटा गुड इवनिंग इज इट आम पढ़ी सारी आफ्टर 20 इयर के करी लाइव क्लास आई डोंट थिंक आई डन मु तो करनी लाइव क्लास मु कर नथली yes I have made video on that Uttam good evening sir good evening Bhupender God bless you mu yes मु करनी लाइव क्लास कर नथली एटा फर्स्ट टाइम करूची मु वीडियो तैयारी करची या ऊपर किंतु पिला मान सारे इंटरैक्शन करी क्लासरूम बेस्ड टीचिंग भलिया मु क्लास कर नथली वीडियो अच्छी yes I have made video on all the chapters even if grammar videos are there you can watch एक्टिव एंड पासिव बेटा बहुत दिन हो गला आउ 2 दिन अपेक्षा कर पर दिन लाइव क्लास देवी ठीक अच्छे आउ फर्स्ट चैप्टर एक्टिव एंड पासिव वॉइस ऊपर पढ़ा ठीक अच्छे फर्स्ट चैप्टर विल बी वॉइस चेंज आज 16 तारीख 17 18 तारीख संध्या 7:30 मु भावुची जदि भगवान कर माने इच्छा थाए बोले लाइव क्लास हम ग्रामर हम आउ पैसिव एंड एक्टिव ही फर्स्ट चैप्टर पढ़ा ठीक अच्छे सो गेट रेडी ऑन 18th ऑफ दिस मंथ रोहन गुड इवनिंग गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल तो पिला आज स्टार्ट करवा ताहले ठीक अच्छे स्टार्ट करवा चैप्टरटा जमती मु तुमको आगु कही सारी एटा दुईटा फ्रेंड जड़े फ्रेंड आउ जड़े फ्रेंड को भेटापी आऊँगी साक्षात करने आऊँगी आ घटना मोड्रे बहुत अप्रीतिकर परिस्थिति सृष्टि होती किभली से मिशिंट से कौन है सो आई एम गोना रिवील द मिस्ट्री लिप्सा गुड इवनिंग बेटा सो लेट मी स्टार्ट द चैप्टर द फर्स्ट यूनिट एंड द फर्स्ट सेंटेंस द पुलिसमैन ऑन द बीट इट वाज a street a policeman is doing his duty regular duty गोटे निर्जन रास्ता रे जड़े पुलिसमैन तार ड्यूटी करुच्ची पेट्रोल करुच्ची सो द पुलिसमैन ऑन द बीट मीन्स ऑन हिज ड्यूटी moved off the quiet road smartly से क्वाइट कहले निर्जन रास्ता रे स्मार्ट ही वाज डूइंग हिज कोर ऑफ ड्यूटी से तार निजर ड्यूटी करुच्ची तो से आराम रे कौन करुच्ची जब ड्यूटी करुच्ची स्मार्टनेस अच्छी तार माने लागू नहीं कि ये नुआ कि से स्मार्टली इज जस्ट डूइंग हिज ड्यूटी स्मार्टली विथ स्मार्टनेस हु वाज that fellow was a police was habitual remember his smartness was habitual characterization charitra chitrana characterization means charitra chitrana so the policeman on the beat moved off in quite road smartly his smartness was habitual और तार जो smartness थिला से जो तार भावभंगी थिला सेटा habitual से सबुदिन अभ्यस्त habitual कहले अभ्यस्त माने अकेजनाल नथिला सेटा habitual थिला से सबुदिन ड्यूटी करूथला और स्मार्ट on a smart way he was doing his duty core of duty and not for show लोकों को देखेबा पई से करू नथिला से लोकों को गुड इवनिंग तुषार गुड इवनिंग से लोकों को देखेबा पई सेटा करू नथिला से तार ड्यूटी करूथला आ मन देई की करूथला के किछि लोक थांती लोकों को देखेबा पई शो ऑफ हेबा पई करनते तो से भलिया करू नथिला for spectators were few because he was doing his duty from his heart and it was a habitual part of his duty achintya good evening okay it was a part of his duty spectators kahle viewers yes darshaka spectator kahle darshaka तो दर्शक किए नथिले रास्ता खाली थिला निर्जन रास्ता थिला habitual कहले अभ्यस्त विकास habitual कहले अभ्यस्त were few कहले कम few कहले कम the time was only 10 o'clock and what was the time was only 10 o'clock दर्शक yes राति 10टा समय केते राति 10टा गुड इवनिंग दिनेश ओके 10 o'clock at night 10 o'clock at night राति 10टा but the locality was one that kept early hours and that locality was one of the locality where peoples were there only on आलोको रोमते लेट नाइट रे से अंचलटा खाली हो जाए नॉर्मली एंड चिली विंड्स चिली कहले ठंडा कोल्ड chilly winds, wind kale pavana, chilly winds and a drizzle. Drizzle means snowfall here. Not exactly, it is not a vocabulary class. Arohi, it's not a vocabulary class beta. But if the student will ask me, a person who watches show, game or other events, you are correct, Sneha. If because it is a live class, if the student will ask me the meaning of the words, I must tell. This is my duty. That's why I'm taking live classes. That student can clear the doubts. Okay, beta. And Grizel had almost D people. Roshan, good evening. D people, loko khali hai jiva. This is a noun. D people means, it is used as a verb. ठीक अच्छे डी पीपल माने लोक नथिले लोक खाली हो जाइथिले डी पीपल द स्ट्रीट्स आउ कोन पई खाली होइथिले व्हाई दे वर नॉट नो पीपल वर देयर द रीजन वाज that it's very clear that the chilly wind and a drizzle of snow drizzle was there, that's why people were not there. Examining closed doors as he went, the policeman was going on. Drizzle कहले तुषारपात होउथला वर्षा तो हो नथिला तुषार बरफ वर्षा होउथला snowfall. So doors as he went, se jamte जाउथला as he went, making various interesting and playful movements with his small stick, and he was making movements with his stick. तार जो बाड़ी धरिथिला से बाड़ी रे से movement सब करूथला. He was playing with his stick, wheeling the sticks and doing various tricks. Small stick. The officer. But means strong and stout. Stalwart means strong and stout. Figure and smart movements. Others, good evening. No problem. Interesting and playful movements with a small stick. The officer with a stalwart figure. Stalwart means strong and stout, I've told already. And smart movements made a fine picture of the guardian of the law. As you know, police is considered as the guardian of the law. आईन रक्षक पुलिस को आईन रक्षक बोली कह जाए तो तार मूवमेंट आउ ता फिगर देखौथिला सूचौथिला कि ही वाज एक्चुअली द गार्डियन ऑफ लॉ माने आईन रक्षक भलिया से काम करूथिला से देखा भी जाउथिला. He could see a few lights and he was just able to see a few light किछिटा लाइट मात्र जळुथिला from a cigar store. Yeah, the name of the chapter is after 20 year. Okay, after 20 year. Cigar store. Stalwart means strong and stout, beta. Strong and stout. Cigar store कहले normally in America people are coming to the shop to smoke, where they can smoke frequently without any relatives or without any focus of other people. That is called your cigar store. Cigar कहले it's a kind of what we are using cigarette. That would version cigarette would developed version is cigar. Tapash, good evening. On all night hotel and one or two tailoring shop. Sabu ratri hotel man kar light joduthala and one or two tailoring shops completing the day's work. किछिटा दर्जी दुकान खोला थिला आ से माने दिन रे काम कंप्लीट करिबा पई जाउतले. The day's work. The majority of the houses were business places that have long since been closed. Day night hotel, you can see. So long since been closed. The majority of the houses सेठी से अंचल थिबा घर मानक मध्य रे टेलरिंग कहले तुम जानि जब समस्त टेलर का yes or no माने सिलाई दुकान गुड़ाक जो dresses are being tailored. So houses were business places that had long since been closed. बहुत समय बंद हो जाता दुकान बाजार सब से अंचल. Now and then he would certainly turn about. Smoothie, good evening. So now and then he would certainly turn about. What do you mean by turn about? एपटे सेपटे बुलिकी देखिबा, turn about, and cast his watchful eye along the peaceful road. चारियाडे देखुतला, इयाडे देखुतला, सियाडे देखुतला, आगुकु देखुतला, पछकु देखुतला, आउ देखुतला whether any criminal activities are being take place or somebody is doing something wrong to other, that was being watched by the policeman. What is that caste? What is that caste? I didn't have come across with that word caste. Oh, and caste is watchful. I caste rakhiba, keep, to keep. Caste means to keep. Figure kahile chhabi. Cast his watchful eye along the peaceful road. He was thinking of what his boss had said in the morning, and he was thinking something what had been told to him by the boss. Boss କହିଥିବା କଥା ତାର ମନେ ଥିଲା ସକାଳେ ତାର ବସ୍ ତାର ଯେଉଁ ସିନିୟର ଅଫିସର ଥିଲେ ଦେବାଶିଷ ଗୁଡ୍ ଇଭିନିଂ ସେ ତାକୁ କିଛି କହିଥିଲେ he had told somebody କିଛି କହିଥିଲେ ଆଉ ସେ କଥା ତାର ମନରେ ଥିଲା କାର ମନରେ ଥିଲା the policeman majority means ମାତ୍ରାଧିକ ଅଧିକାଂଶ Umashankar, God bless you. He was thinking of what his boss had said in the morning. Pale face, pale, kale phika muho. No problem. So pale face, square jaws. तार जो माड़ी सब थिला square माड़ी थिला माने it was just square type. Square jaws, deep and dark eyes. गभीरिया एवं कड़ा आखि deep and dark eyes and a little white scare near the right eyebrow कहे भूलता तो तार डहाण पट भूलता ऊपर गोटे कटा दाग थिला कोठी स्कैर कहले कटा दाग ए कट मार्क कटा दाग थिला से लोकटार as a part of the police organization million face is it very good majority kale adhikansa and he felt a little ashamed that the name of this notorious criminal was still unknown karon se police bahini ro अंश थिले गुड इवनिंग स्वागत से पुलिस बाहिनी अंश थिले तो तांकु खराब लागुथला जे से क्रिमिनल तार ना एपर्यंत जणा पड़ी नथिला ashamed and notorious ashamed कहले लज्जा notorious कहले दुष्ट खळ प्रकृति ashamed कहले लज्जा notorious कहले दुष्ट प्रकृति वा खळ प्रकृति criminal type people okay as a part of the police organization I felt a little ashamed that the name of the notorious criminal was still unknown वर्तमान पर्यंत से criminal अपराधी रो नाटा unknown थिला लोको जानि पर नथिले police organization सबु जानि पारि नथिले that was the policeman himself was feeling ashamed से निजको निज लज्जा अनुभव करते and that he was still at large large means here free large means free एबे मध्य से criminal free रे बुलुतला he was just free nobody had cut him still now printing counterfeit notes counterfeit कहले duplicate counterfeit कहले duplicate जाली note so what he was doing that criminal was doing he was printing counterfeit notes जाली note print करूथला से लोकोटा से criminal जा विषय policeman कहूथला counterfeit notes was a serious affair and एटा गोटे serious serious affair थिला एटा गोटे छोटो कथा नथिला एटा गोटे serious affair थिला serious affair he knew से जानि थिला he knew and the criminal must be caught और से criminal अपराधी जनक धरा हेबा निहाती दरकार must be caught he took out his pocketbook and at the very moment he took out a pocketbook from his pocket the pocket ro pocketbook kadila pocketbook under a lamp post and he just stood under a lamp post गोटे lamp post कहले बती खुंट तले से ठिया की तार पॉकेट रो पॉकेट बुक काढिला से के that policeman was just wondering lamp post कहले बती खुंट under a lamp post and looked at the $5 note and he looked at the $5 note गोटे $5 note को से देखुथला note and the reconstructed photograph and there was a photograph with that note reconstructed photograph पिले sketch photograph तुम जानी थीबो जेतले क्रिमिनल मानकर photograph तैयारी हुए क्रिमिनल को धरा पड़ न थाए जने लोक कहे तार मुंडर बाल एभलिया से चश्मा पिंधिथिला तार दाढ़ी थिला निश थिला एभलिया कहले ताको स्केच करंती दैट इज कॉल्ड योर रिकंस्ट्रक्टेड फोटोग्राफ होई पड़ला किए द पुलिसमैन thoughtful that Chicago, 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 a city of America. Uma, good evening. So, Chicago, 1,000 miles away. Chicago is just 1,000 miles away. What chance? केते परसेंट चांस अच्छे शिकागो से लोकटा आज ये ठीक आसी बोल जना पड़ुଛି ଆଉ केते परसेंट चांस अच्छे then he said to himself aloud तापर से निजको निजे कहिला बड़ पाटे कहिला कौन कहिला नेवर माइंड छाड़ो मत चिंता करके किसी लाभ ना नेवर माइंड माय बॉय यू बीन ए ड्यूटीफुल वन दिस लास्ट 18 years तुम 18 वर्ष है कर्तव्य सहित तुम ड्यूटी को संपादन कर आसीच एंड लक ओज यू एट एप्ट आ तुम सहित तुम भाग्य सब बेले अच्छी योर लक इज ऑलवेज विथ यू सो डोंट वरी यू विल गेट हिम इफ यू वांट you will get him. He just assured himself. The निजुको निजे सांत्वना दौथुला. He was in the habit of talking to himself sometimes, and this was one of his habits. तार अभ्यास करता ही जाई थिला. जैसे बेले बेले डेप्ट कहले ऋणी डेप्ट कहले ऋण ओके तो बेले बेले से निज सहित कथा हुए किए द पुलिसमैन निजे निज सहित दिस इज कॉल्ड कंटेम्पलेशन. This is called to talk with yourself. It's called contemplation. Sometimes when nobody was boy and he liked to refer to himself as a boy, though he was 40 years old, sometimes he was just referring himself as a boy. तो निजु को निजे पिला बोली संबोधन करे यदि भी से 40 वर्ष बयस कही जाइतिला तथापि से निजु को ए बॉय ओ बॉय लिसन जस्ट यू आर जस्ट ए ड्यूटीफुल ऑफिसर सो डोंट थिंक अबाउट ऑल दोस थिंग्स इज जस्ट टॉकिंग टू हिमसेल्फ से निजे सहित निजे कथा होतला. There was another thing in his mind. तार मस्तिष्क आउ गोटे जिनस चलुला संबित गुड इवनिंग 40 कहले जानना शांतनु 40 कहले 40 यू नो 40 4 10 जा 40. So his mind, he looked at his watch. He just looked at his watch. तार से घंटे को चाहिए कि that policeman looked at his watch. A 10:15 and was 10:15 कहते ही थिला 10:15 10 बजी 15 मिनट 10:15 15 minutes more आउ 15 मिनट थिला. The exact time when the criminal to be arrived there was 10:30 and it was already 10:15 means 10:15. It was a long road and that road was straight and long. सीधा सीधा थिला बहुत लंबा थिला रास्ता. Okay, no problem Shantanu, no problem, keep watching. But there was enough time and he had enough time to cover the road. तापाके बहुत समय थिला रोड को कवर करिबा पाए. After a minute he described DESCRIED. Described means saw, देखिला. Described means saw. About 500 meters ahead. About 500 meters ahead. Quarter कहले 4 भागरू भागे 1/4. Okay. Quarter past 10 means you know गोटे घंटार 4 भागरू भागे माने 15 मिनिट 10टा की राति 10टा की 15 मिनिट होइतिला. At the outline of a man near the doorway of a darkened hardware store. What did he see? He just saw the outline, the sketch of a man standing near the hardware store. दूर रे थिबा पाखापाखि 500 मीटर दूर रे थिबा गोटे हार्डवेयर दुकान सामने गोटे मनीषर स्केच भलिया किछि ताको देखा गला. He just saw an outline of a human being near the hardware store. Clear? 500 meters ahead, the outline of a man near the doorway of a darkened hardware store. He quickened his steps. सेटिके शीघ्र चलिबा आरंभ कला. Quickened शीघ्र करिबा quickened his steps. The place was slightly dark and the place where the man was standing, it was slightly dark. स्वल्प क्षीण अंधकार थिला. Slightly dark. He quickened it. The place was slightly dark and lying exactly midway between two lampposts. Lying exactly between, exactly midway between two lampposts. Karan kon thila? Why it was slightly dark? Because the place was in between the two lampposts. ଦୁଇଟା lamppost ମଝିର ଜାଗାଟା ଥିଲା ତେଣୁ ଦୁଇଟା lamppost କହିଲେ ତ ବୁଝିପାରୁଥିବ ଏ lamppost ପାଖାପାଖି ଅଧିକା ଲାଇଟ୍ ଥିବ ଏ lamppost ପାଖାପାଖି ଅଧିକା ଲାଇଟ୍ ଥିବ but because it was in between those two lampposts that's why it was slightly dark ତେଣୁ ସେ ଜାଗାଟା ଟିକେ ଅନ୍ଧାରୁଆ ଲାଗୁଥିଲା two lampposts he was about to address the man and he was just about to address the man ସେ ତା ସହିତ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ଆରମ୍ଭ କରୁଥିବା ସମୟରେ but changed his mind and allowed the man to begin but changed his mind he was just gonna address just about to start but he changed his mind ସେ ନିଜର ବଂଶ ଲ୍ୟାମ୍ପ ପୋଷ୍ଟ ବତିକୁଣ୍ଡ ସେ ନିଜର ଯେଉଁ ଇଚ୍ଛାକୁ ଦବେଇ ଦେଲା ଆଉ ସେ କ'ଣ କଲା ହି ଜଷ୍ଟ ଥଟ୍ ଲେଟ୍ ଦ ମ୍ୟାନ୍ ବିଗିନ୍ ତାକୁ କହିବି ମୁଁ ସେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରିବ ବତିକୁଣ୍ଡ ୟେସ୍ କରେକ୍ଟ okay to begin the man realized that the way he was standing there must look suspicious to one who didn't know his story and the man who was standing there he thought the way he was standing there se jemti thiya aichi if anybody will see him je konasi loko dekhile will think suspicious kaile sandeha suspicious kaile sandeha yes anybody would take it that the way he was standing is suspicious sandeha janaka sthiti okay suspicious to one who didn't know his story जे तार स्टोरी जानि नथिबो तो निश्चित भावे ताकू संदेह करिबो who didn't know his story so he said तेणु से कहला कोन कहला so he said as the policeman walked up to him जेमिति से policeman ता पाखु गला as he walked up near him what happens it's all right officer I'm just waiting for a friend the stranger started she ajana vyakti arambha kala it's all right officer I'm just waiting for my friend suspicious kaile yes sandeha ajana vyakti sandeha yes so he said the policeman walked okay it's all right officer I'm just waiting for a friend and I'm just waiting for a friend se kon kala officer don't mind ମୁଁ ଜଣେ ବନ୍ଧୁଙ୍କୁ ଅପେକ୍ଷା କରିଛି I am waiting for a friend okay it is an appointment made 20 years ago and I'm here as per the appointment means a time being fixed but a ନିର୍ଦ୍ଦିଷ୍ଟ ସମୟ ନିର୍ଦ୍ଧାରିତ ସମୟ appointment so as per our appointment the appointment I had made with my friend 20 years ago I'm here ମୁଁ ଏଠି ଅଛି 20 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବେ ମୋର ବନ୍ଧୁ ସହିତ କରିଥିବା ପ୍ରତିଜ୍ଞାକୁ ପୂରା କରିବା ପାଇଁ suspicious kaile sandeha it sounds little funny to you doesn't it the stranger was telling it sounds little funny doesn't you apan go nishchit bhabe eta gote maja bhale laguthubo it sounds like a joke to you yes or no he told the stranger added doesn't it well I'll explain so as to remove all suspicion from your mind so let me explain ମୁଁ explain କରି ଦଉଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କ ମନରେ ଥିବା ସନ୍ଦେହକୁ ଦୂର କରିବା ପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ମୋ story କହୁଛି I'm telling you my story your mind about 20 years ago 20 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବର କଥା about 20 years ago there used to be a restaurant and there used to be a restaurant ଆପଣ जो ଜାଗା ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି এই ଜାଗାରେ ଗୋଟେ restaurant ଥିଲା restaurant କହିଲେ ଆମେ ବୁଝିବା restaurant yes where foods are being served ଯୋଠି ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଦିଆଯାଏ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ପ୍ରସାଦ paid and get food okay restaurant where this two stands Brady's restaurant and the name of the restaurant was Brady's restaurant ତ କ'ଣ କୁହାଯାଉଥିଲା Brady restaurant ବୋଲି କୁହାଯାଉଥିଲା until 5 years ago said the officer started the policeman started yes 5 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବର କଥା 5 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବେ ତ ସେଇଟା ଥିଲା it was toned down TORNDOWN toned down what do you mean toned down destroyed ତାକୁ ଭାଙ୍ଗି ଦିଆଗଲା destroyed It was torn down. He was about to take the hand of the stranger but checked himself and he was just going to shake hands. ସେ ହାତ ମିଳିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡସେକ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ ବଟ୍ ରେଜିଷ୍ଟ ହିମସେଲ୍ଫ କିନ୍ତୁ କଲେ ନାହିଁ. The man in the doorway struck a match and lit his cigar. What he did? Struck a match. Machish kadiki. Machish mane lit kala au cigar jalila. Just wanna smoke. Okay, lit his cigar. The policeman had a chance to look at the face of the man, and the policeman got a chance to look at the face of the man. So this is all about the first unit. Because it is your non-detailed story, I'm not gonna discuss the question and answer. And question and answer you have to write in 50 words. So and I'm gonna teach you directly the second unit. Or what do you think? We'll discuss the question answer. Question answer discuss kariba. Now second unit ki jibe. Just comment me. So let me start the unit 2 up after 20 years. 20 years ago tonight, said the man. Lokoti kahila. 20 years ago tonight, aji baliya rati 20 varsha purbe, said the man. I dined here at Radi with Jimmy. Question and answer? Okay. How does the writer describe the atmosphere of the story? How does the writer describe the atmosphere of the story? It was a stormy winter night. The street was almost depeopled. Only a few stores were opened. Second unit ki jiba na question and answer kariba. 20 unit ki jiba. Some students are telling about question and answer. What do you think? Okay, let me give me 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, I'll complete the question and answer. Okay. So what happens? How does the writer describe the atmosphere of the story? It was stormy winter night, still winds and drizzling snow were there. The street was almost depeopled, and a policeman was just doing his duty, core of duty, and in a smart way, like in an habitual way. Okay. So, and he was very happy with his duty. How did the policeman perform his duty? The policeman was performing his duty in a smart way, in a habitual way. He had no, pain. He was not feeling pain. He had no pleasure, not thinking that the duty he was doing was forcefully being done. And he is just enjoying his duty. Then number 3, what picture of the wanted criminal do you get from the text? What picture? The person has a square jaw, pale face, and had a white scare mark on his right brow, and only a reconstructed photograph was there with the police department, and he was just convicted of what? Yes, long question beta, long question, non-detail na. So we'll go for 5 marks based question. That's why I'm telling like this. So what picture of the wanted criminal? Okay. How did the stranger try to interact with the policeman? The stranger went to the policeman and wanted to talk to him, but he just waited for a few minutes and let the stranger started the talk. Okay. And the stranger thought that as the way he was standing, it was suspicious to anybody. That's why he started and told his story. Next, how did the policeman see the stranger's face? When the policeman was just about to struck out a match and just lit his cigar, that means the policeman was able to see his face. That's all from the questions, right? So let me start. Which one? The unit 2. Let me start unit 2. So 20 years ago tonight, 20 ବର୍ଷ ତଳେ ଆଜିର ରାତିରେ, 20 years ago tonight, said the man. ସେ ଲୋକଟି ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲା. I dined here at Radi's with Jimmy Wells, and was my friend, was the friend of the stranger, Jimmy Wells. Was the stranger? Jimmy Wells. So he told that 20 years ago, 20 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବେ, Jimmy Wells ମୋର ସାଙ୍ଗ ସହିତ ମୁଁ ଏଇ ବ୍ରାଡି ରେଷ୍ଟୁରାଣ୍ଟରେ ଖାଇଥିଲି. My best chum, and Jimmy Will was my best chum. CHUM, chum. Chum means friend. Chum means friend. Chum. And the finest chap in the world. And you are the finest chap, the finest. Look, the use of superlative degree. Chap means people. Chap means people. You are the finest chap. Okay, in the world. We were both born and brought up here in New York. We were both born, yes, and brought up in New York. आम दुई जन जाक न्यूयॉर्क रे माने जन्म होगी बड़ होइथिलो. Born and brought up. Just like two brothers, and we have felt just like two brothers. दुई भाई बलिया रहउथलो. I was 18 and Jimmy was 20. I was 18, ମୋତେ 18 ବର୍ଷ ହେଇଥିଲା, and Jimmy was 20, Jimmy କୁ 20 ବର୍ଷ ହେଇଥିଲା. Okay, and the next morning, ତା ପରଦିନ, the next morning ସକାଳେ, I was to start for the west to make my fortune. I was to start for the west to make my fortune. ମୋତେ ପଶ୍ଚିମ ଦିଗକୁ ଯିବାର ଥିଲା, କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ? ମୋର ଭାଗ୍ୟ ତିଆରି କରିବା ପାଇଁ. Fortune, ମୋତେ ଜବ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, କାମ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯିବାର ଥିଲା. Fortune, make my fortune. Jimmy was a hummingbird, and Jimmy was a hummingbird. और Jimmy को बोला थिला, he was a hummingbird. से घर को भल पाउथला. Hummingbird कहले जो माने घरे रहिबा ପାଇଁ भल पामती, having homesickness. Hummingbird. You couldn't have tracked Jimmy out of New York, and if you try, even if you couldn't have tracked Jimmy out of New York, तमे न्यूयॉर्क बाहर को Jimmy को नहीं कि जाई परिबो नहीं. Why? Because he loves New York and he loves to stay in New York. That's why if anybody will force him to go out of New York, he will not go. So Jimmy out of New York, he thought it was the only place on earth, and Jimmy was thinking that New York was the only best place in earth. पृथ्वी सबुठार भल जगह होची New York. This is the view of whom? Jimmy. Tracked Jimmy out of New York. He thought it was the best place on earth. Well, we agreed, and whatever condition was that, we agreed. Sedino ame raji helu. Ko kotare? That night, that we would meet you again. That we would meet you again. Ame puni thore ei jagare mishibu. We'd meet you again exactly 20 years from that date and time. 20 years from the date and time. Sei dino tharu thik 20 ବର୍ଷ ସେଇ ସମୟରେ आमे सेठी पुनी थरे मिसिबु. ए कंडीशन ड्राफ्ट कले टाणीबा, ड्राफ्ट कले नहीं जीवा. We agreed date and time, no matter what our condition might be. No matter what our condition might be. आमर जो कंडीशन थाओ, जो परिस्थिति थाओ, जे भलिया आमे जगह थिबु, बट 20 वर्ष परे आमे एठी पुनी थरे मिसिबु. Exactly 20 years from the date and time, no matter what our condition might be or from what distance we might have to come. And from what distance we might have come, whatever condition, how long we are, doesn't matter. But exactly after 20 years, on the right time, we'd be there, we'd meet again. We felt that in 20 years, each of us would have had his career made. We thought, and on that day, we decided that after 20 years, when we met again, at the time, we might have built a career. आमर दुई जनकर कैरियर तैयारी हो सारी थिबो, कैरियरटा तैयारी हो सारी थिबो, आमे सेटल हो सारी थिबो. Okay, and got what life had to give, and got what life had to give. जीवन जहाँ दवार थिबो सेटा आमे पाई सारी थिबो. It sounds pretty interesting, said the policeman. Your story is so amazing, so interesting. Who told that? The policeman told. Policeman कौन कहला? Your story, it's so mesmerizing, it's so interesting, I'm amazed. Policeman, rather a long time between mates. बहुत दिन हो गला, rather a long time. एते दिन होला देखा नहीं between mates. It seems to me, मते एभली लागुची. Pretty and correspondent. Correspondent कहले जोगाजोग करिबा, pretty कहले very close. Haven't you heard from your friends since you left? Haven't you heard since you have left? तमे गला परे तम बंधुंको पाखरु कौनसी चिट्ठी पाइछो कि? कौनसी चिट्ठी पाइछो कि? Since you left? Well, yes, for a time we corresponded. And the stranger said, yes, for some time we corresponded. किसी समय पे हम दुई जन कथावार्ता ହେଇଥିଲୁ चिठी आदान प्रदान ହେଇଥିଲା. Said the other, but after a year or two, we lost track of each other. After a year or two, गोटे किंबा 2 वर्ष ପରେ we lost track. ଆମେ ଦୁହେଁ ଦୁଇ ଜଣଙ୍କୁ ଆଉ କରେସ୍ପଣ୍ଡ କରିପାରିଲୁ ନାହିଁ. ଆମର ରାସ୍ତା ଅଲଗା ଅଲଗା ହେଇଗଲା. Though Chicago was what you call, जदि भी Chicago तुम जहाँ कहब my headquarters मु Chicago रे रोतले. That means the stranger had come from Chicago to New York to meet his friends. That means he has surpassed 1,000 miles, crossed 1,000 miles to meet only his friends and to keep his words. Just think of the friendship. I kept moving around a lot. I kept moving around a lot. ମୁଁ बहुत जगह बोलिले. But I know Jimmy will meet me here if he's alive. And I know Jimmy will meet me here if he's alive. से जदि बंचीजी से निश्चित भावे मते एठी भेटिबो. Alive. For he always was the truest, staunchest old chap. Truest कहले सत्य, सत्यवादी. And staunchest, what do you mean by staunchest? Staunchest old chap. What do you mean by staunchest? Who can tell me what is the meaning of staunchest? Staunch. Staunchest. Yes. Staunchest means, faith. Staunchest means faithful, you can say. कहले सत्य, सत्यवादी. अंतरंग, yes, विश्वस्त अंतरंग. This is truest and staunchest. Chap in the world. Chap means people. Chap means people. Old chap in the world. You will never forget. You will never forget. Se kebe mane bhulibo nahi. You will never forget. But I came 1,000 miles to stand at this door tonight, and I came very sincere. Yeah. So I came 1,000 miles. ମୁଁ 1000 किलोमीटर दूरରୁ आइଛି. କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ? To stand at this door tonight, and it is worth if my old partner turns up. Turns up means come, arrive. Turns up means arrive. ମୋତେ ଖୁସି ଲାଗିବ ମୋର ବନ୍ଧୁ ଯଦି ମୋତେ ଦେଖା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଆସିବ. Arrive, turns up means arrive. The waiting man pulled out a handsome watch. The waiting man means the stranger pulled out a handsome watch. The lead it set with small diamonds. The lead it set with small diamonds. और से घंटा रे turns up means arrive. Yes, turns up means arrive. से घंटा रे डायमंड लगी थिला. गोटे पॉकेट रू वॉच काढिला. जो घंटा रे कण लगी थिला डायमंड लगी थिला. 10:25 what he told. 10:25 10 बजी 25 मिनट. 10:25 and it was exactly 10:30 when we parted here. Exactly, you know what? 10:30. 10, yes or no? 10:30 means 10:30. 10:30 में जो कहूचे. We parted here at the restaurant door. At the restaurant door. Restaurant कबाट रू आमे जिते अलगा हे गलु दुई पटे दुई जण पळैलु. It was exactly 10:30. Made lots of money. Made lots of money out in the west. शिकागो जाई कि बहुत पैसा कर जोगार करी. Made lots of money. Didn't you? Asked the policeman. Asked the policeman. Policeman पचारला तुम बहुत पैसा कमाइला ना. शिकागो जाई कि बहुत पैसा कमाइला. Yes or no? Yes. Tag question ର ବ୍ୟବହାର पहले tag question ଅଛି ଏଠି. Didn't you? Isn't he? Tag question ବିଷୟରେ idea ଅଛି ନା? I'll take a class on tag question also. Interrogative is there. It's a part of your grammar, in +2. So I'll take those classes. Don't worry. Parted means अलगा अलगा हेबा. Parted माने अलगा अलगा हेबा. Well, it wasn't bad, I must admit. And well, it wasn't bad, I must admit, the policeman said. ମୁଁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବେ କହିବି ଯେ ମୁଁ ଯେତେ ପଇସା ରୋଜଗାର କରି କମ୍ ତ ନଥିଲା. It was sufficient for me. ମୋ ପାଇଁ ଯେତିକି ଦରକାର ସେତିକି ଥିଲା. It wasn't bad, I must admit. I hope Jimmy has done half so well. And I hope Jimmy has done his half so well. Jimmy ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ବି ଭଲ ପଇସା ରୋଜଗାର କରିଥିବ. He was somewhat slow in the brain, but my friend Jimmy was, somewhat, Ranjan, good evening, slow in the brain. ସେ ଟିକେ ବୁଦ୍ଧୁ ଟାଇପ୍ର ଥିଲା କିଏ ଜିମି କୋଭଳିଆ ଥିଲା ବୁଦ୍ଧୁ ବୋକା ସ୍ଲୋ ଇନ୍ ଦ ବ୍ରେନ୍. ଓକେ, ଦୋ ହି ୱାଜ୍ ଗୁଡ୍ ଫେଲୋ, ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି ହିସାବରେ ସେ ଭଲ ବ୍ୟକ୍ତି ଥିଲା. ହି ୱାଜ୍ ଏ ଗୁଡ୍ ଫେଲୋ. I have had to compete with some of the sharpest wits in the world to earn my dollars, and I have had to compete. ମୋତେ compete କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡ଼ିଥିଲା କାହା ସହିତ? With some of the sharpest wit. Sharpest wit କହିଲେ clever people. Sharpest wit କହିଲେ ତମେ ଜାଣିଥିବ skill. Sharpest wit କହିଲେ skillful people. Sharpest wit in the world to earn my dollar. ମୋ ଟଙ୍କା ରୋଜଗାର କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପୃଥିବୀର ବହୁତ ଚତୁର ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ମୋତେ କମ୍ପିଟିସନ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିଲା. A man gets into the rut. କହିଲେ ୱେଷ୍ଟ ହେଇଯିବା, ମାନେ ଗରିବ ହେଇଯିବା, ଦୁର୍ଦ୍ଦଶା ଭୋଗ କରିବା. Get into the rut. In New York, the West requires fighting and teaches it, and the West, the West requires fighting and teaches it. ଆଉ Chicago ତମେ ଯଦି ଯିବ ସେଠି ତୁମକୁ ଫାଇଟ୍ କରିବାକୁ, you have to fight yourself. If you want to earn money, then you have to fight. ତୁମକୁ ଫାଇଟ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପଡ଼ିବ. Rut, what? Man, get into the rut. Get into the rut means ଖରାପ ହେଇଯିବା, waste ହେଇଯିବା. So the policeman took a step or two. The policeman take a step or two. ଗୋଟେ ଦୁଇ step ଗଲା. I hope your friend comes around all right. And he told, I hope, ମୁଁ ଆଶା କରୁଛି, ଭଗବାନ ଠାରେ ପ୍ରାର୍ଥନା କରୁଛି ତମର ବନ୍ଧୁ ତମ ପାଖକୁ ଆସିଯିବ. Okay, and he said, are you going to wait for some time in case he doesn't turn up? Sharpest wit କହିଲେ ଚତୁର ଲୋକ. Sharpest କହିଲେ ତୀକ୍ଷ୍ଣ, wit କହିଲେ ବୁଦ୍ଧି, ତୀକ୍ଷ୍ଣ ବୁଦ୍ଧି ଥିବା ଲୋକ. Hope your friend comes around all right. ମୁଁ ଆଶା କରୁଛି ତମ ବନ୍ଧୁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବେ ଆସିବେ. He said, are you going to wait for some time? ତମେ କିଛି ସମୟ ଅପେକ୍ଷା କରିବ କି? In case, ଯଦି he doesn't turn up means arrive at the appointment time, he asked to the stranger, hey stranger, will you wait for your friend if your friend turn up late? ଯଦି ତମର ବନ୍ଧୁ ଟିକେ ଲେଟ୍ରେ ଆସେ ତମେ ଅପେକ୍ଷା କରିବ ତ? Who asked? The policeman asked. To whom? To the stranger. And I'll give him half an hour. ମୁଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଅଧା ଘଣ୍ଟା ସମୟ ଦେବି. Said the other. ସେଇ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଞ୍ଜର କହିଲା. If Jimmy is alive on earth, ଯଦି ଜିମି ବଞ୍ଚିଛି, alive on earth, he will be here by the time so long. Officer, hey officer, if Jimmy is there now, he will come in time. ଯଦି ବଞ୍ଚିଛି ସେ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବେ ଟାଇମରେ ଆସିବ. Good night sir, said the policeman. Policeman କ'ଣ କହିଲା? Good night ଶୁଭରାତ୍ରି. And passing along his bed, ଆଉ ସେ ତାର ଡ୍ୟୁଟିରେ ଚାଲିଗଲା. Examining the doors as he went. ଯାଉ ସବୁଆଡ଼େ କବାଟ ଝରକା ଦିଆହେଇଛି ତ ଠିକ୍ ଠାକ୍ ଅଛି ତ ଦେଖି ଚାଲିଗଲା. Let us see the questions. Are only two questions are there. What is the appointment made between two friends 20 years before? The two friends, they decided to meet again after 20 years when they were parted. One was going towards west, another was residing in the east. Means one friend was going to Chicago and other still it's unknown to us. What information about our friends do we gather from their conversation? From the conversation of those two people, we get to know about Jimmy Wells that he is a bullshit person having a little knowledge, and he's a hummingbird. Okay, and he was the finest chap in the world and a good chum also. That's all. So let's go to the last unit 3. The wind was growing more chilly. ପବନ ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ଥଣ୍ଡା ହେଉଥିଲା. The wind was growing more chilly. And the drizzle was thickening. ତୁଷାରପାତର ମାତ୍ରା ବଢ଼ି ଚାଲିଥିଲା. The
drizzle was thickening. The people who were out quickened their steps, and the people, किछि लोक जो मान थिले, thickening कहले मोटा है जिबा बहलिया है जिबा, who were there quickening their steps, से माने धीरे धीरे आगो थिले, से माने माने जल्दी जल्दी तंगर काम सारुथिले. Their coat collars turned off. Their coat collars turned off. Coat ro collar को से माने केमती करथिले, टेकी देथिले. Coat collars turned off. टेकी देथिले. Okay, turned off. And hands pocketed. हाथों को पॉकेट भीतर पूरे देथिले. Hands pocketed. And near the door of the hardware store. Near the door of the hardware store. से hardware store रो कबाट पाखरे. Hardware store, the man who had come 1,000 miles to fill an appointment. The man who had come 1,000 miles to fill an appointment. से लोकोटी जे 1000 माइल क्रॉस करिके आइथिला appointment fill करिबा पाए. With a friend of his youth, smoked his cigar and waited. Was smoking his cigar. Cigar पिउथला and waited. अपेक्षा करथला. About 20 minutes he waited. 20 minutes अपेक्षा कला. How much? 20 minutes. About 20 minutes he waited. And then a tall man in a long overcoat. A tall man in a long overcoat. Denga loko. Got a lamba overcoat pehne ki. With collar turned up to his ears. With collar turned up to his ears. तार जो collar थिला, color थिला, सेटा तार काना पर जंत लागिची. Had come, okay, hurried across from the opposite side to the street. Hurried across from the opposite side. गलीर सेपट मुंडरू एपट को आउथिला. से stranger पट को आसुथिला. He went directly to the waiting man. Went directly to the waiting man. Vishaka, God bless you, beta. God bless you. Okay, and to the waiting man. Say जो अपेक्षा करती वासे लोगों को पाकू जाउथला. कि that man in a long overcoat and turning up his collar up to his ears. To the waiting man, is that you, Bob? He asked doubtfully. Bob? Hey, Bob? Are you Bob? And the man, his name was Bob. She stranger जी था तार ना कौन थिला? Bob. तार friend ना कौन थिला? Jimmy Wells. Is that you, Jimmy Wells? Cried a man near the door. Are you Jimmy Wells? अरे मोर सांगो की ऋतु Jimmy Wells के? We told the stranger. बहुत दिनों पर सांगो को देखा ले केम दिया वो. Yeah, that was the situation. Bless my heart, हे भगवान. Bless my heart, exclaimed the new arrival. दिन वाकरी आइला. से आश्चर्य ही गया तार सांगो को देखी. Grasping both the other hands with his own, and both were shake hands. दुइजोनो handshake कले. It's Bob, sure as fat, and it's Bob, sure as fat. Certainly, definitely, Bob. I was certain I'd find you here if you are still in existence. And he told, I was sure, if you are alive, you will be there. I was certain. Well, 20 years is a long time. And they started talking. 20 years is a long time. The old restaurant is gone, Bob. Hey, Bob. The old restaurant is gone. It had tasted, it had lasted. If it had lasted, so that we could have had another dinner there. Ame authore khai thante aji. How are the West treated you, old man? How are the West treated you? तो जो वेस्ट पश्चिम आड़ को जाइथिलु कौन तोर हलचल कौन व्हाट इज द न्यूज़ अबाउट यू टेल मी नथिंग टू कंप्लेन ऑफ कंप्लेन करिवार किछि नै ग्रास्पिंग धरिबा सो नथिंग टू कंप्लेन ऑफ कंप्लेन करिवार किछि नै इट हैज गिवन मी एवरीथिंग आई आस्क्ड फॉर इट हैज गिवन मी एवरीथिंग आई आस्क्ड फॉर मु जहा मागिछि जहा पाइबा पई चाहिछि आई हैव गॉट दैट You have changed a lot. तमे बहुत परिवर्तन हो जाइछो. Jimmy, you took taller by 8 or 10 centimeter. तमे 8 ରୁ 10 सेंटीमीटर लंबा हो जाइछो. Then when we met last, जेतेबेला हम लास्ट थर पई भेटिथिले से समय ठारो तते देखिले मते तो 8-10 सेंटीमीटर तो ऊंचा ही गला भलिया लागुची. Doing well in New York. Simi, are you doing well in New York? The stranger asked to Tosraj. God bless you. Simi, not so bad. And he told, not so bad. Ate kharab bhi nahi. Not so bad. Okay, I work in a departmental store. Jimmy told, that so-called Jimmy, that I worked in a departmental store. ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ departmental store କିନାରା ଦୋକାନରେ କାମ କରୁଛି as assistant manager. କ'ଣ ପୋଷ୍ଟରେ ଅଛି? Assistant manager. Good pay and I'm getting good pay. ଭଲ salary ମିଳୁଛି. Yes or no? I'm getting good pay. Tosraj, God bless you. Good pay. Good pay and other benefits. Other benefits too are there. Come on, Bob. We'll go round to a place. Hey, Bob, come. Let us go to a place. I know of and have good long. Yes, Mr. Prosty. Good long talk about old times and let's have a good long talk. चलो बहुत समय धरि कथा हेबा आमे टिके आमे बहुत दिन 20 वर्ष पर मिसिछि आमे. So let us talk about old times. आमर पुराना स्मृति को आमे आड़ेइबा. The two men started up the street arm in arm. दुई जण हाथ धरा धरी हेइकी रास्ता रे चलले. The man from the west somewhat popped up by success. The man from the west was popped up. You know what do you mean by popped off? Being proud. गर्ବରେ छाती फुलुଥିଲା तार जे ମୁଁ west ଯାଇକି ବହୁତ ପଇସା ରୋଜଗାର କରିଛି. popped up କଲେ गर्व. Was talking of his positions and his important friends in Chicago and elsewhere. He was talking about his position. तार पाखरे थिबा जिंस विषय से कहउतला. And he was talking about his friends in Chicago. Chicago रे थिबा तार बंधु मानक विषय कहउतला. The other covered with his overcoat. आउ जने जे आइथिला. He was just covered with his overcoat रे पूरा संपूर्ण ढंगे ही रहिथिला. Was listening with rapt attention and he was listening with rapt attention. What do you mean by a rapt attention? Rapt attention means deep attention. Rapt attention means deeply se shunutula tar katha ko. Was listening with rapt attention. They had not yet taken a good look at each other's face. Se parjanto se dui jana ka muho ko bhal se dekhi nathile. They have not watched themselves, their faces. They knew a medicine store lit brilliantly. Got a medicine store पाखरे से माने पहुंचले and it was lit brilliantly. बहुत light थिला सेठी. With electric lights. There each of them turned simultaneously to gaze at the other's face and each of them दुई जन जाका turned simultaneously. दुई जनकर मुह को देखा पाए उल्टी पड़िले. And all of a sudden, something had happened. What do you think? What is the twist? Let me tell you. The men from the west stopped suddenly and let go the other's arm. Simultaneously, एका समय रे. Simultaneously माने at once हटा. दुई जन देखो एका साथ रे. You are not Jimmy Wells. What he told, you are not Jimmy Wells. Yes, I'm sure you are not Jimmy Wells. He faltered. Faltered means said. Quoted. He faltered. 20 years is a long time. 20 years may be a long time. 20 years बेसी ही पारे. But not long enough. किंतु एते भी लंबा नुह. But not long enough to change a man's sharp nose to a flat one. जे जनकर तीक्ष्ण नाक बड़ नाकटा छोट हो जिवो. It's not like that. It sometimes changes a good man into a bad one, said the tall man. Then the tall man started. He told, you're correct. Sometimes what happens? Changes a good man into bad one. ଭଲ ଲୋକମାନେ କେତେ କେତେବେଳେ ଖରାପ ହେଇଯାନ୍ତି ରେ. Said the tall man, you have been under arrest for 10 minutes. And hey Bob, you have been under arrest for 10 minutes. 10 minute hala mu tuमको arrest kari sarichi. Do you know? Who told? These are the words being spoken by that tall man with long overcoat. What he told? Hey Bob, you are under arrest. तुमको arrest करा जाई सरिची. You are under arrest. Bob, or whatever your name is, doesn't matter. তোমার নাম Bob. Not exactly. Yes, that policeman who came, later on was that fellow. It was Jimmy Wells. You've been under arrest for 10 minutes, Bob, or whatever your name is. The Commissioner of Police Chicago longs to have a chat with you. Lungs kaile? With the Commissioner of Police Chicago. Chicago Police Commissioner তোমার সହିତ কথা হেবা ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି. He is interested. He wants to take tea with you. তোমার সହିତ ଚାହା ପିଇବା ପାଇଁ interested છે. Chat with you in connection with some bundles of $5 notes. In connection of what? Some bundles of $5 note. ପାଞ୍ଚ $5 note ର fake note ର କାରବାରରେ he wants to talk with you. ତୁମ ସହିତ ସେ କଥା ହେବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହାନ୍ତି. Who? The Commissioner of Police longs to have a chat with you in connection with some bundles of $5 notes which have come his way. जोटा तांका माने jurisdiction को आसीची. Come quietly. शांत शिष्ट भावरे आसो. Yes, the past policeman was Bob's friend. Exactly, you're correct. Before we go to the station, here is a note. For you. କ'ଣ କହିଲା? ପୋଲିସ୍ ଷ୍ଟେସନ୍ ଯିବା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ମୁଁ ତୁମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ନୋଟ୍ ଦେଉଛି, ତୁମେ ପଢ଼. ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆଇ ୱାଜ୍ ଆକ୍ସ ଟୁ ଗିଭ୍ ୟୁ. ଏଇଟା ମୋତେ ତୁମକୁ ଜଣେ ଦେଇଛି ତୁମକୁ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ. ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ସବ୍ ଇନ୍ସପେକ୍ଟର ଜିମି ୱେଲ୍ସ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଦ ଲେଟର୍ ଇଜ୍ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଆସିଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ସବ୍ ଇନ୍ସପେକ୍ଟର ଅଫ୍ ପୋଲିସ୍ ଜିମି ୱେଲ୍ସ. So that fellow who first of all had met that stranger was exactly a policeman. He was Jimmy Wells. He was the man whom he was waiting for his friend, and after he knew that his friend is just a criminal, he just left his friend. He was not able to arrest him. Okay, let me complete. I mustn't tell the story. The men from the west unfolded the little piece of paper handed to him. The men from the west, the stranger, unfolded the paper handed to him. ତାକୁ unfold କଲା. His hand was steady when he began to read. It was hard. Unfolded, ଖୋଲିବା. Trembled, କହିଲେ ଥରିବା. But trembled a little bit by the time had finished. ଆଉ ସେ ପଢ଼ି ସାରିଲା ପରେ ତାର ହାତ ଥରୁଥିଲା. The note was rather short. It was a short note. What was written? It was from Jimmy Wells, his best job. What he had written. ସେ କ'ଣ ଲେଖିଥିଲେ? Bob, I was at the appointed place on time. My dear friend Bob, unfolded, କହିଲେ ତ ଖୋଲିବା. Bob, I was at the appointed place on time. Bob, ମୁଁ କଥା ଦେଇଥିବା ଜାଗାରେ ଟାଇମଲି ଥିଲି. I was there. When you struck the match to light your cigar. ଯେତେବେଳେ ତୁମେ ସିଗାର ଜଳେଇବା ପାଇଁ ତୁମେ ମାଚିସ୍ଟାକୁ ଜଳେଇଲ, ମାଚିସ୍ କାଢ଼ିଲ. I saw it was the face of the man wanted in Chicago. I saw it was the face of that man wanted in Chicago. Chicago police ଯାହାକୁ ଖୋଜୁଥିଲା ସେଇ ମଣିଷର ଫେସ୍ ସହିତ ତୁମର ଫେସ୍ ମିଶିଗଲା. I'm very clear that you are that particular criminal whom the police is searching for. Somehow I couldn't do it myself. Whatever condition was there, tremble କହିଲେ ଥରିବା. Whatever condition it was there, I was unable to do my duty. ମୁଁ ମୋ duty କରିପାରିଲି ନାହିଁ. Because though I'm a police, I'm a friend, and I can't arrest my museum friends, my close friends. My conscience, didn't permit me to arrest you. Jimmy was, chose his relationship or duty. Jimmy chooses, duty, not relationship. Chicago, somehow I couldn't do well myself, so I went around and got a plain clothes. ତେଣୁ ବାହାରକୁ ପଳେଇଲି. Got a plain clothes policeman to do the job. ମୁଁ କ'ଣ କଲି? ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ଲେନ୍ କ୍ଲଥେସ୍ ପୋଲିସମ୍ୟାନ୍, ଜଣେ ସାଧା ପୋଷାକଧାରୀ ପୋଲିସକୁ କହିଲି, I have requested, just go and arrest that criminal. That's all. So I hope you understood ପିଲେ ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଆମେ ଶିଖିବାକୁ ମିଳିଲା ଯେ that if you see and if you'll compare duty and friendship, duty first, friendship next. But nowadays all the students, what they are doing, they are taking, they are what they are taking, that they are, friend first and duty next. This is not good. We must do our duty seriously. Okay, let's complete the question and thereafter I complete the class. And what would be next? The last chapter, the open window. Okay, how long did the man from the west wait? For more 20 minutes. What was weather then? The weather was, it's gradually becoming, windy and chilly. How did the man from the west and the man in a long overcoat greet each other? They shake hands and talk with each other. No problem, no problem. When did Bob realize that the tall man he had met was not Jimmy Wells? When they were just near a medical store. At that time, they simultaneously turned to each other and saw each other, and they saw in clear light their faces. And Bob recognized that man was standing in front of him was not his friend. Why did Jimmy get Bob arrested? Jimmy get Bob arrested because you are the person who was being wanted by Chicago police, was being wanted by New York police, and he was a criminal in connection with that counterfeit notes, illegal notes currency. That's why he wanted to get Bob arrested. Did Jimmy keep his appointment with Bob after 20 years? Yes. What consideration did he show for his old friend? He was just not able to, after he knew that his friend was the criminal, New York police wanting for, he was just not able to arrest his friend. He went from his friend and told a police officer in plain English to arrest his friends. So that's all. So tomorrow, I think the last story, the open window, and after that we'll go, for grammar class. I hope you all are enjoying and these videos are a little helpful for all of you. Thanks for watching. Good night. Bye bye.